So, imagine this. You're a young manga artist, your storyboards just got rejected, your dream is kinda dangling by a thread. Most people would sulk, right? But Chika, the main character of Journey, she does something different. She hops on social media, runs a pool, and lets her followers decide which direction to go. And that's it. That's the start of a totally random, crowdsourced adventure. Honestly, it's chaotic, it's funny, and it's kind of inspiring. What sets Journey apart is how it shows the gap between the dream of adventure and the reality. Chika actually wins an award, 1 million yen, which sounds massive. Like, I'm set for life massive. But the show wastes no time showing how quickly money melts away when you are traveling. Hotels, trains, meals, even those little splurges on souvenirs. It adds up. And suddenly, that million yen feels like a pocket change. There's this moment where she books a fancy inn room, and her mood just shoots up. You can feel her excitement. Sometimes a bit of comfort really does recharge your spirit. But the anime also quietly shows the flip side. If you spend like that all the time, your adventure burns out quick. The joy of travel comes from contrast. Sometimes luxury, sometimes simplicity. And then there is this small but powerful scene. Chika notices a drunk woman at a bar and says, "I don't want to end up like that as an adult." That moment hit me, because it's not just about travel, it's about self-reflection. Sometimes the most important lessons don't come from mountains or temples, but from everyday people you pass by. And that's the beauty of this show. It keeps adventure grounded. It says, yeah, travel is fun, but it's also messy, expensive, and filled with little wake-up calls. And maybe that's why it matters. The other big theme is, who you travel with changes everything. When Chika goes with Koyomi, the trips feel warm and comforting, like two friends who can share silence and it still feels meaningful. With Yui, her high school junior, the trips are full of admiration, but also jealousy. Yui even admits she's jealous of Koyomi, because Chika opens up to her in ways she doesn't with Yui. It's subtle, but it shows how relationships shape the journey. And then you've got the funny stuff, like the oysters in Matsushima. Chika doesn't want to eat them, rejects the offer, feels guilty, tries them anyway, and then likes them. Relatable. I've had the exact moment as a kid, refusing food, then trying it later like, why didn't you give me this sooner? Travel has a way of humbling you like that sometimes. And then there is Riri, the heavy drinking manga artist. On the surface she's a mess, but she's also the only one up at dawn writing down ideas. Even in her chaos, there is value. And that's what I love. Each companion brings a different mood, a different rhythm. Sometimes it's laughter, sometimes frustration, sometimes quiet reflection. That mix is what makes travel unforgettable. But honestly, the heart of Journey isn't the big destinations, it's the tiny details. Chika noticing a cave with no humidity, or savoring a bowl of soba after a long walk, or missing a train because it doesn't even run during that season. Normally, you would call that a failure, but here, it becomes part of the story. One of my favorite contrasts is during the New Year sunrise. A group of young girls see the sunrise, almost shrug and leave, nothing else to do here. Meanwhile, an elderly couple stays, praying for another healthy year. Same scene, completely different meaning. That's perspective. And the show constantly reminds you. Meaning isn't in the event, it's how you see it. And then there is the rain. The way Chika experiences waterfalls or walks through the wet streets. It's not about the inconvenience, it's about the mood. I swear, after watching this, I wanted to go outside and just enjoy the rain. That's what good travel stories do. They make you notice the world differently. Beyond travel, Journey slips in life lessons almost casually. Yui, still in high school, asks Chika how she managed to juggle being a manga assistant, studying, and clubs while she was in a third final year of high school. And Chika's answer? She didn't want to regret not trying. And that stuck with me, because regret really does hurt more than failure. Better to try and stumble than never take the step. Her master, Fuyune, adds another perspective. Chika asks how she comes up with ideas, and the master basically says, intuition. She can't explain it. But then Yui, surprisingly, is able to put it into words, helping Chika see that she should lean on her strong emotions from travel, instead of trying to force emotions into her manga. It's such a powerful creative message. Your best art doesn't come from inventing feelings, but from living them. And of course, the show uses travel as a metaphor for growing up. When Chika and her friends miss destinations, they laugh about it. Because yeah, sometimes things don't work out. But when we are older, those failures become funny stories. That's a very different kind of optimism than most anime. Quiet, realistic, but comforting. By the end, Chika isn't the same girl who started with rejection. She gets her one-shot manga published, Yui makes it into university, Koyomi decides she wants to become a teacher. Even Riri shows her that frustration is part of caring deeply about something. And when the narrator closes that season with "That's Journey," it's like the series is reminding us life itself is a journey. It's not about perfection, it's about people, perspectives, and the small memories that stick with you. And I think that's why this anime works. It's not flashy, it's not intense, it's chill. It's travel you can experience from your couch, with a bit of humor, a bit of reflection, and a lot of warmth. Honestly, it feels like free run but set in modern Japan, with soba noodles and hot springs. So yeah, Journey isn't just about travel, it's about living. And now I've gotta ask, if you have won 1 million yen and let social media decide where to go first, where is your first stop? Drop it in the comments, I'll read them while mining for diamonds. Thanks for hanging out, and hey, if you like chill anime rambles like this, consider subscribing please, it really helps out. More journeys ahead. Thank you, and I'll see you sooner rather than later.